Hi, got another great question today about the quality of hypnotherapy results. So let me read the question to you. How long does it take to get a result if the therapy is done properly? Some of my clients see a change instantly, while it can take weeks or even months for others. Does a result taking longer mean you've missed something in the therapy, or that it's just how some people process things? So, okay, here's my take on this. Assuming that you're a good therapist and that you know how to do whatever therapy you're using, results will vary. And it all depends to a certain extent, well, on two things. First of all, it depends on you as the therapist. Are you confident, experienced, and able to deal with the situation that the client presents you with? That's the first thing, and let's take that as a given. The most interesting and important aspect is your client. First of all, have you taken on a client who is highly motivated or wants to get this problem sorted as soon as possible? And when I say highly motivated, when you've spoken to them initially, when they've completed your intake form, they stress that they are sick to death of this problem and want it gone. They've tried all kinds of things and they just want shut of this thing. They are motivated. Also, they have paid you a substantial fee to get the work done. So they're highly motivated and they want this thing gone. If most of your clients are in that bracket, then you should be getting results in 2-3 sessions maximum. Occasionally, you're going to get the result you're looking for in one session, but that's not always the case. If someone is highly motivated and they're sick to death of the problem and they want it gone and they've tried stuff, yeah, it can happen. I've had results in as short as 15 minutes, but they are the exception. Most of my clients take between 1 and 3 sessions to completely get rid of the issue. So the next question or the next response I've got is, when you finish the session, have you cleared all of the knots? Have you tested sufficiently? Have you tested robustly? So you've done the therapy, the client says, yeah, I'm happy, it's gone. But are you listening for doubts? Are you listening for hesitations? For example, does the client say something like, I think I can do it? Maybe. Yeah, well, I could. Or something like, we'll have to see. These, to me, all indicate that the problem isn't completely resolved. And this is why we need to do testing, because the client may have some knots, some small parts of the issue still remaining. And the way to figure out if that is the case is testing. Let me give you an example. So using me as a client, okay, Paul, so you've stopped smoking. Is there anything that might make you pick up a cigarette again? You talked before about stressful situations. So let's say tomorrow you're in the office and your boss really gives you stick for something that you haven't done. How are you going to respond? Now, if I come back, well, yeah, I might in that situation want to go downstairs and have a cigarette. The problem is still there. We have to do more work to eliminate that possibility. Another example might be, well, yeah, if I get bored and my hands are, doing their thing and I've got nothing to grab hold on, I might just go and get a cigarette. So again, that indicates that the work is not completed. We have to make sure we've eliminated, to the best of our abilities, all of the knots that the client presents, which is why sometimes when you test your client at the end of the therapy, they might actually get quite fed up with you because you keep asking these questions and they keep saying, no, Paul, it's gone, it's clear, I'm fine, I'm great. And that's what we're looking for. We want the client to be insistent that the problem's eradicated, that it's gone. And then you know that they shouldn't be coming back to you with another issue. Something that might crop up, and I find happens from time to time, is that a client is completely happy, they go away satisfied, and they're processing, their brain is mulling over the work that you've done during the session. And a day, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, something may crop up. The subconscious mind might throw out a query, or what if this happened, or what if that happened? Something that the client didn't talk about, didn't discover during the initial session. So you get them back in and just remove the knots. If you're finding that it's taking weeks and weeks and weeks or even months to resolve a situation, then we need to ask ourselves a couple of questions. First of all, did we do a good job? Be honest with yourself. Did we do a good job? Did we get rid of all the knots, or all the knots that presented themselves? Next question, was the client sufficiently motivated to really want to get this thing done, get this thing sorted? supported? Were they being completely honest with you? Did you have an inkling during the session that maybe they were holding something back? Were you reluctant or were you afraid to ask that question? I know it's a difficult question to ask, but sometimes we've got to just say, look, Paul, are you telling me everything? Are you being completely honest with me? Is there anything you're holding me back that might stop this process from working? The final part of the question was, does the result taking longer mean you've missed something in the therapy, or that it's just how some people process things? So yeah, potentially you may have missed something as I've just described, but also it could be that's how some clients process things, but it's unlikely. Most clients, once you've done a good job, will process in, the 2 or 3 weeks, generally speaking. I hope that answers your question.